Hey, what's up guys, it's Marv and welcome back to another Asphalt Legends Unite video, and today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm not going to be talking about news, I'm not going to be talking about mechanics or gameplay. What I'm going to be talking about is how to have fun, because I think I finally cracked it. And some of you guys might be a little confused on why I'm making this video, but I'm currently chatting in the Asphalt Legends Unite Discord, which you should join, which will be linked in the video description down below, along with my own Discord server if you want to hang out, as well as all my other social media channels you should follow. But I was talking to a lot of people who were considering quitting the game or weren't very happy, even though in my opinion we just had one of the best seasons ever of ALU, which I might cover in a separate video. But either way, I've been having a lot of fun with this game recently, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand how I think about the game and why I seem to actually enjoy it, despite everyone else sort of freaking out about maybe the unfair mechanics or different economy sorts of things, like difficult cars to unlock. So how do we have this chaotic situation where there's a lot of issues with the game which are really more economical related, but how do we have the situation where I'm having fun but it seems like a lot of people aren't? So in today's video I'm going to go over how I enjoy Asphalt Legends Unite, and maybe this might make you get a refreshed look on the game. Maybe you'll enjoy it more thinking about it this way, and I hope this video helps. So the first step in how I enjoy Asphalt Legends Unite is the grind, and that is one of the biggest parts about this game, especially if you are a free-to-play user. It seems like every day you'll wake up, you'll go into the daily events or the special events, and there are about 50 new races that you can do on the same track 5 times in a row over and over again to get some little reward. Maybe it's 25 tokens here, 10,000 credits here, and I have stopped worrying about all of that. Does it mean that I am slower to unlock new cars and progress further? Absolutely. It means that I'm not taking advantage of all the rewards that are set out for me if I complete the grind. But at the end of the day, I thought about the fact that I play video games for fun. I don't want to play it just to get every single car in the game and get those numbers up in terms of my garage statistics, my garage level, the amount of cars I had. I wanted to stop worrying about all of that because it was soiling the fun that I enjoyed about Asphalt back when I started playing over 1 decade ago, which was feeling the rush of adrenaline when I'm driving a fast car, going over huge jumps when I started playing Asphalt 8, and using cars that I actually enjoy, the very few of which are in this game, like the Tuatara, like the Apollo N. So just thinking about the game in a more pure sense of why do I play this game? It's to actually play the game. It's not to get more credits, it's not to grind more, it's to play the game. So oftentimes I find myself now with fewer time wasted in the menus, going through the different sets, going through the different shops. I find myself more in game than in the menu, and that has taken off a lot of pressure from myself. So with all that being said, just grinding less and playing the games that I enjoy more, specifically we'll go over that in a little bit, but actually having time in game rather than out of game, browsing the shop, browsing the garage, has really opened up my mind to how I can actually enjoy this game. So maybe that can help you. Yes, you'll unlock things a little slower, you won't progress as fast, but you will actually enjoy the time you spend in game. Next up, I do want to talk about individual game modes, because just that previous piece of advice is like, yeah, okay, play less, but actually enjoy the game more. That kind of makes sense with a lot of games nowadays that feel more like a job than it does like an actual game. But in this case, we've gotten a ton of new additions to Asphalt Legends Unite that, in my opinion, does make the game more enjoyable just by itself. Now, firstly, you'll see here I'm playing security in the Team Pursuit game mode, and every time this comes back, I go through the entire reward system for this game mode. I absolutely love it, especially when I do get to play as security. It is such a fresh take on the Asphalt formula that every time it comes back, I always enjoy it. So just playing a different game mode every once in a while does help. This is why I've always been pushing Gameloft to add more game modes, even if it's something as simple as elimination versus just the casual first place, second place, whatever that we already have in the game. So just by playing a different game mode, one that also doesn't really have a lot of stakes, right? We don't have a rating system in this multiplayer mode, so it really is just playing this game mode for the pure enjoyment of it. And like I said, your goal as the security is to smash all of the syndicate, and your goal as the syndicate is to escape from the security. So it's a totally different take on how you play the game. For example, I see people doing U-turns all the time. They'll go in circles to avoid the security. If you're a syndicate, that's how you play the game. If you're a security, I love smashing into players because oftentimes in multiplayer you want to avoid players, but in this case the objective is to get the knockdowns. So it's a totally different take on how you actually drive in the game, which means it does feel very different and I really enjoy it. Something else I've enjoyed is spending a little more time in multiplayer 2 instead of the ranked multiplayer 1. Now I do have a competitive side. I play Counter-Strike. I love grinding out the ranks in those games and really feeling like I'm better than other players, and that certainly is the case for Asphalt. I love driving my car as best as I can, learning the tracks, studying them, practicing, and then putting it into place in multiplayer and beating other opponents that may even have better cars than I do. I love grinding the leaderboards. For example, a couple of seasons ago, I made it to top 500. That was so much fun, but it does get tiring pretty quickly. At the end of the day, something might start to really upset me, like if I get 360'd in classic multiplayer and I get really upset, I take a step back and say, whoa, I'm getting way too competitive. I switch over to multiplayer 2 and just play to have fun. I'll just drive in my top S-Class cars like the Tuatara, constantly hitting over 300 miles per hour and just playing for fun. Oftentimes we see the slipstream game mode in multiplayer 2, which is so much fun because you can go absurdly fast in that game mode, especially when you have other high-end S-Class cars in your lobby. So playing in multiplayer 2 and not feeling like I have to get first place every single time and just getting into a more casual mindset, sitting back, relaxing, maybe playing some music, watching a video in the background while I actually just enjoy the game itself is yet another way to sort of refresh my mind on how I play Alu. Now last and certainly not least, yet another addition that Asphalt Legends Unite provided that really does make the game more fun is private lobbies. Now, in some of the streams that I have been doing recently, I've been hosting viewer tournaments, or I've been hosting lobbies where everyone jumps in a Lancer and we all do 360s. Stuff like that is just fun. It reminds me back of the good old days where you would load up Call of Duty or Halo and get into another private lobby, make your own game mode, make your own maps, do your own thing with your friends, and that's what this game mode or this system really reminds me of. You are throwing out every other aspect of the game that causes stress. There is no progression, there are no currencies, you just play with other people, you make your own fun, and so the private lobby system is such an enjoyable experience. Now, I know a lot of people, they play by themselves, oftentimes I'm playing by myself, so if you can catch one of my live streams and get into a private lobby where we all do these sorts of silly, goofy things, I highly recommend it because it is so much fun. But if not, you can go on the Discord and say, hey, anyone want to do this random thing with me in the private lobbies? And there's always people in the Discord. With the new addition of private lobbies, it really opens up the amount of possibility you have to play your own way. So hosting the viewer tournaments has been such a refreshing experience for me. And again, kind of similar to the Team Pursuit mode, it's such a different way to think about and play the game that it really does feel like I'm playing something else. Alrighty guys, so that's how I have been enjoying Asphalt Legends Unite. It's really felt like a refreshed experience for me. It no longer feels like I'm waking up every day just to grind the same races over and over again, and every once in a while I will just put down the game for a couple of days. I'm not saying that you have to play a different way and you have to keep playing that way to have fun. I'm also just saying that there are different ways you can think about playing the game that might make you enjoy the game instead of just feeling like you're raging all the time and you have to quit. And obviously, you're free to make those decisions yourself. But I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. Has Asphalt Legends Unite refreshed your ability to enjoy this game? Or has there been something that you think Gameloft should add to make your enjoyment even more fun? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will catch you all later.